Renovation in France, closing up the tiling in the shower room. So there's one or two issues here with obviously the level of the wall on the left hand side, the cob wall. So I just made a frame to create a small sort of splashback there for the basin, and then probably we'll make a little sort of shelf just directly above that, just to close it off, and then obviously there'll be a mirror or whatever can go up above that. And then need to put the obviously electric socket on, and then just working my way around. So the grouting's been done, but it hasn't been buffed up yet. But the cuts were all done, lots and lots of cuts here, obviously with the angle of the room and everything else. So I've got my cuts in and got the rest of it laid. And then again, this section here is, you've got a partial purlin showing, sort of pushing through, and the level isn't level. So again, it'll be a question of putting something over the top of that between the tiling and the tongue and groove, so it's not overly critical that they're not exactly plumb or dead square there, the tiles there. It just means that I'd have to cover that over anyway. I might even try and make a little sort of shelf for that as well, just a very, very thin shelf. Nothing that's going to get in the way of heads when you're looking to wash your face or whatever. So that's the ideas for the showroom there. Good to get the tiling in place. There's another view of it. We'll go around again. And on the other side, you've got this sort of weird section because the way the angle of the wall, you've got tiles that are practically nothing at the bottom, and then they obviously widen out as they go up. And then there are some sections of glass in the panes of glass in one of the barns. I'm going to see if anything's near enough the size. I just made a bit of a platform there to take the weight of the tiles at the rear of the shower, and then obviously that'll need get capping off as well to seal that. So I can then attach the shower to the wall. I've got 2 brackets for that, so that it becomes more rigid, and then it would just be a question of closing off the top section so that no water can get down around the back of the shower cubicle. So yeah, so looking to try and create like a skylight just above the door there, and see if there's anything that I've got in the barn that would work as far as that's concerned. And then I'll just make a small timber frame for that. It's only going to be single glaze. It's only a question of trying to get some natural light into the room. This was done, can't remember when it was done now, but it was done sort of late afternoon when we're already starting to lose the light anyway. So I put a light on in there, a temporary light on, but you can see how the tiles taper down to practically nothing at the bottom. And that's just the way the wall, that particular cob wall, stacks out. There's a heck of a amount of lean to it, and there just if I can get because you can see just beyond it the natural light coming through from the skylight that's directly above in the corridor there. So it'd be quite nice if I can organise some mirrors or whatever and try and chuck a little bit more light into this area. Anyway, that's a job for another day. And then obviously once let it set for about a day or two, and then sort the grouting out. So that would then be the next thing. Work my way around. And also there'll be a bit of trim going around the door as well, because obviously the tiles protrude now a few, sort of maybe half a centimetre, quarter of an inch from the frame. I don't understand why the door frames that aren't wide enough to accommodate what you're going to be putting around the frame anyway, but they don't. And then we got the grouting then gone in, so I've worked my way around with the grouting. You've already seen a video of that, so I wasn't going to show you another one of them, just show you the sort of finished article. And then again, it's just a question of, I normally leave it a day or two now that it's all been grouted, and then I'll start buffing it up with a dry cloth. And if that doesn't work, then I'll get a bit of sort of hot soapy water and just go over it, and then finish it off with a dry cloth. And that should take any clouding away. off the tiles. There's no excess. There's no excess mortar. There's no excess grout on the tiles. It's literally just a bit of sort of what I call clouding, which is just the last bit of staining that you've got when you're cleaning the grouting off with a wet sponge. And then treating or putting a lime wash onto the cob to finish that, and then putting the linseed oil onto the beams to finish that. I'd have to just check as well if it needs anything else with it. Obviously, with it being in the shower area and with it going to be a certain amount of humidity, whether that would have any bearing on. It's not really going to have much of a bearing on the old oak beams, I wouldn't have thought. But whether it'll have an effect on the cob or not is another matter. But yeah, it's all the grouting's in. Quick cleanup, and then, like I say, run some form of maybe just a very, very narrow shelf, or some just put knickknacks on at the top there, or just close it up with a bit of profile or baguette, as they say, and then got the electric switch on. It wasn't too difficult. Really, it's only 3 wires, isn't it? And fitted the box onto the back box, or fitted the socket onto the back box. So that's there. That can now get connected up at the consumer unit. And this is, for us Brits, it's a bit unusual, or a bit well, to have a live socket in other than sort of a power point for a shaver. It's kind of unusual. You don't get that in the UK. But anyway, so you have to have one in France. I think it's part of the regs. And then finally got the upstairs basin connected up. Got the waste connected. So I'd done the waste the other week at the rear, the other side. So you've got no pipe work as such, or very little pipe work as such in the showroom, just so it's not too cluttered. And this was just a question of getting the pipe work, the hot and cold connected, and just checking for leaks as ever. So I'm very impressed with the multi-crew system overall. It's very easy to do. One or two of the fittings have failed for whatever reason. Well, maybe it's a quality issue, but that's that. But other than that, I've enjoyed working with it. And then it's just a question of obviously sealing around the unit between that and the tiles, and also we got the issue of closing off the sides, because obviously the sides don't work or don't run plumb. But anyway, that's a job for another day. So that was the showroom coming closer to a finish. Hope you enjoyed the short video, and I'll see you in the next video. And please do like, and please leave a comment of anything. It really helps the algorithm, and I'll see you on the next video.